How do I get more? Long way. This road is about as wide as it can go. Boston, huh? Well, man, it's hot. That's hot. Well, hello? Not too good. How about yourself? Yeah, if you can call it that. Do you have Christmas or do you have Hanukkah? What do you have, Christmas or Hanukkah? Oh, yeah. Don't miss out on any, right? So how was your holiday? Good. Uh yeah, sure. Sure. So what have you been up to? No, huh? Yeah. Yeah, and you be careful tomorrow evening. Don't not too much eggnog. Well, you know the eggnog always knocks you out. Yeah, not too much happens. Yeah, I'll be in bed early, but I mean midnight I'll be awakened. Yeah, because everyone fires off their rifles, fireworks, and cannons, and everything else. Yeah, yeah. It was cold. You know what? Oh yeah. Well, down south here they don't have snow or anything like they do for Christmas too. Yeah. Well, you know, um, yeah, it was cold last night. It's gonna be colder tonight. Yeah, that's the thing I was reading about today. And you had huge waves out there. Yeah, I know. Get out there in the valley where they make corn. That's the corn capital of the world. They shop. There's what? Well, that's the United States. Yeah. Well, it's gonna get. It's it, It's amazing how crazy it is. When I was looking at a house in New Jersey, and last year it was $500,000, and then the year before it was 500,000, and now it's $1.5 million. Same house. Yeah, yeah, with less land. Came with an extra 8 acres of land. Now it doesn't. Yeah, it was just a big pasture, but it's crazy. Oh, up in Hardin County. Well, and yeah, well, Hardin County is beautiful. You know, it's all trees and everything else. I mean, it's getting overcrowded. I mean, after this housing boom, um, you know, I mean, it's like a house, small house, and it sold for $750,000. The person bought it and did it. Within 3 months, they sold it again for $750,000 to get out of it. It was just it was a house. Yeah, it was a house when we were growing up. It would cost $20,000. Yeah, it's things have gotten stupid. Anybody who bought a house in the past 2 years is insane. That's what they say anyway. You know, I don't know. I mean, the Outer Banks, I used to go down there as a kid, in teens and 20s, but then they turned it into wall-to-wall condos on the beach and passed a law. If a hurricane comes and knocks it down, you can't rebuild it. No sirree. And then down between Point and Seaside, all those houses have been in families for so long. There weren't any mortgages, so no one had any insurance, flood insurance. Right? And when Sandy came, wiped out all those houses. Yeah, took out my just one guy was complaining. He's going, I came down, I saw my house was there. Well, of course, when the water got in it, you got black mold and everything growing. Starts growing immediately. And he said I came back the next weekend, it had been bulldozed down. Well, it was dangerous. A lot of people thought, well, house has been knocked off the foundation. We'll be able to fix it. Yeah, really? Right? Right. It's on a 45-degree angle. It took out my brothers, it took out my fathers, it took out my grandpa. Yeah. My grandfather's, the water was all the way up to, halfway up the second floor. Yeah. Yeah, completely wiped my brothers out. And there was a sign. There was a sign at my grandfather's there's no Jacko, but sign at the opening of the Jacko. Anybody who doesn't live here will be shot. Those people going and stealing stuff and everything. Big old house going up on my grandfather's property. The guy who bought my father's, he's not repairing the house. He just has a boat at the dock, And my brother had his rebuilt and they sold it. He got the insurance money for it. Well, yeah. I mean, he called. Well, I knew it happened. I had that heart attack that night at 11 o'clock. And called me at 5 o'clock in the morning. My left arm, I couldn't move it right. And, I went to sleep. And he woke me up, and I certainly didn't tell him that what had happened. And he told me his house was wiped out. The people were already in it, trying to steal stuff. And so I went to the hospital and got blood work done. They said, yeah, you had a heart attack. You want to stay? I'm like, no. No. What? A heart attack. No, it's not better. Why? Oh, yeah, that was numb and unmovable for about a day. I wore, like gym pants, and I just stuck my arm in the plastic, the elastic band. Yeah. Yeah. A temporary thing. Knocked me right out of the chair. Yeah, it was a whopper. Yeah. And then I had, Sunday night I had an episode, I don't know what it was, but Monday morning when I woke up, my heart has just been racing, can't breathe, have no strength, and, it's the right side of the heart, and that's the one that when fluid goes up around it, drains into your lungs, joins into my lungs, causes the heart to speed up, and weakness and fatigue. If it's the left side, nothing happens, but it's the right side. So my body now can't, it was like 37 degrees out last night when I lived up north, and I never had any problem with cold temp. But last night, man, I was under 2 quilts, dressed for winter. It was cold. It's going to be even colder tonight. So my brother gave me a ceramic thermostatic electric heater, which I'm going to have it running tonight. Has the water dripping. It's going to be below freezing. Yeah, I know. It's not like the old days, Down here, no. I mean, it's been down to 20, down to 15 degrees here. And, growing up in New Jersey, when we did, heating oil was 5 cents a gallon. That's going to cost you $1 something, right? A gallon. Yeah. Yeah, they're raising drug prices. I mean, it's just, Joe Biden has just been the worst thing that ever happened to this country. Oh yeah, he just spent the last amount of money that they had from, they made the agreement, to extend it so before, they put together a new budget to be passed and so on and so forth. And he blew it already. He's just a spending fool. Well, he's just a fool anyway. He's always been a fool. So I just don't know. And a lot of the universities are having problems with anti-Semitism. And I don't get that. I don't understand it. For what? Well, no, what's anti-Semitism got to do with anything? No, anti-Semitism, people hating Jews. Why? Yeah, but, it's getting worse. And, yeah, a friend for like 65 years, man. And, she voted for Biden, and I said, Biden's a nut, and that was the end of the friendship. I'll tell you that. You can't say anything. I will. I'll say anything, but I just don't understand it. I, yeah, I had a girlfriend like 7, 8 years. She was Jewish, and her father and her uncle and her aunt were born in Hell's Kitchen in New York City. And then her father and her uncle were drafted in the army. Father went over to England and Europe as a soldier. He married an English woman. And they decided to stay in the army for 20 years. And he did. And but the military is so full of anti-Semitism that, she went through hell, And So her father became a multimillionaire, and her uncle became a multimillionaire. Well, you probably knew it. You know, he owned the restaurant downtown in D.C., Blackie's House of Beef. Yeah, and yeah, made a lot of money. And uh, then they built a thing called a trolley that made pizzas and stuff. You know, had some fun stuff for kids. And that they let their sisters, her aunt's husband, manage it and paid him enough money to keep their sister living well, you know. Yeah. So, you know, she was crying one night. I asked her why. She said, I'm Jewish and I just can't tell anybody. I said, you told me, I don't care. And so anyway, that's why I already told her this story. Went down to the jewelry. Got the platinum Star David. Embedded with diamonds and all that, yeah. So, I don't understand it. The only thing I know is about the Jewish people, you don't marry the girl or woman. You marry the whole damn family. And that's not where I'm from. You know, I mean, I was looking into, Mako, transmission repairs, stuff like that. And, you know, and every time I went and talked to guys, doesn't buy his business. And next time you say, oh, there's someone here who wants to be a silent partner for money. I'm like, who's that? I couldn't tell me. And I couldn't figure out who it was. Everything I went after, that happened. So I found out who it was. And I found out who his father was. He was my girlfriend. Told her father, and her father went, oh, okay. And went to the business that he'd pay for everything. And I'd run it and I'd have, you know, father or uncle who have work. You know, I wasn't used to that. You go out, when you're 18, you're out. You know, you're on your own. You know, there are no family loans. You know, it's nothing. But I'm just what? Yeah, probably. I guess. I don't know. I mean, he offered me $1.5 million to marry his daughter, and that's what turned me off. He offered me $750,000 to marry her. I'm still friends with her. So, yeah. And then I'd lie in bed and I wasn't married her or for money or what, you know. It confused the whole issue. Well, she had been with a boyfriend who used to beat her up all. Broke bones, broke her wrist, broke her tooth. Anyway, I got her out of that situation and I was only at that time. But then then I slept on the living room couch. And he found out, go over and tell him, come over and kill me. And he was a night fighter, so I went out and got my sleep tire iron. You know, so he came to the house. You know, so you're a man, like, get up, go, young women. So I heard, oh man, he backed up and he out came a knife and out came the tire iron. Broke his wrist, you know. Beat the ever living crap out of the bushes. So her father was like about 5 feet. Like he was going to do anything, you know. And he goes, I don't have to bring up the daughter. He said if there's any legal issue, pay for it. Yeah, you know. So I didn't do it because she was Jewish, just because she was my girlfriend. And they were about as Jewish as I was. I mean, they didn't go to temple. They didn't do anything. They held Hanukkah rather than Christmas. That's the only difference. You know, they're about as Jewish as Joe Biden. But Joe Biden will tell you you're Jewish. Yeah, I know. I know. Oh, I don't know. I would have loved to have seen him with your father. Your father would have called him a jackass. Would have had him banned from the Bull and the Bear. Sorry, he's 21. Yeah. I don't know. You know, it's just, I don't know, Diane. But you had a good holiday? All right. So your living accommodations are okay for you? You getting around or anything? Yeah. A little bit like what you walking out like 2 feet into your front yard and then 2 feet in your backyard? More than that, really. 5 feet in each direction. Well, Santa Monica didn't get hit hard with the waves. It only would have come up to the beach. You know. Laguna didn't get hit at all. It was only up the central area, California. What? What's that? Yeah. Yeah, I was watching guys do that. And there was a 15-year-old surfer went out there, got eaten by a white shark. Killed. It was filmed. People filmed it. They didn't help him. They filmed him getting killed. You know, that's the thing. You watch people. You watch accidents. You watch all kinds of stuff that people film. They don't do. They don't do anything to help them. Yeah. I think I'll get a cell phone and just go around filming people that are in trouble and laugh like they do. Yeah, isn't it? I know. I know. Yeah, not in South Boston. That woman was murdered in plain daylight. Nobody called the police. Now, it does happen. And oh, guess what? So many people have moved out of California. So many rich people that you're running a 64. You're going to have a $64 billion deficit, tax deficit. Yeah, it's Lenin couldn't. Lenin in Russia couldn't have had a better communist country than California. No, you know, it's the first time in history since California's been part of the nation that it's got a deficit of people. And pretty soon Texas is going to have more people than California. And if you keep saying how big you are in Texas, we're going to divide Alaska in half. You're going to be third in size. Yeah, no, you're down millions. Millions have left. You got a lot of people going, but they're not legal. You know, that takes up a lot of resources. You know, and They don't have enough what? Yeah. Yeah. Did you read the articles? Yeah. Yeah. They're trash. Big article about that. And people are not very happy with it. It's called New California Housing. I mean, well, that's where people are going. Well, it's that way all over the country. And it's like the Gilded Age all over again. 1890. The robber baron. Yeah. I mean, I was having a heart issue. I went into Walgreens and needed to get medication. Nobody could help me. And so what is this? Pharmacy? You know, you got candy, you got food, you got soda, you got beer, you got wine, you got tissue, you got paper towels, everything up front. And very little out back in the back is pharmacy. And when I was a kid, the only thing you get in a pharmacy was pharmacy. Closest thing to candy was food and cough drops. And now they've gotten completely out of whack. And yeah, yeah, really. What, a pharmacy? Yeah, is it something? Yeah, yeah, yeah. CVS, Walgreens, Amazon stores in the pharmacy. When I was at Nottingham, and a junior, and they were saying that back then it was, eventually the world pretty much, and there was a woman that heiress, L'Oreal, and she's $1 billion, and you and I were a little 10 going on 11 when JFK's first budget came out in '64, and it was the first $100 billion non-war budget, and it covered everything, no deficit, no nothing. 50% went to the military, 50% covered it. And yeah, and now we pay $1 trillion just in interest on our debt. Isn't that amazing? It's crazy. Why don't Why don't you run for this the House? Run for the House of Representatives. Uh, who? Yeah, he was in the army. He was overseas from 42 to 46, and he was pals with General Eisenhower and General Marshall. And that's how I got to go to Eisenhower's private residence in Gettysburg. I was 7 and I was 9. Yeah, so your father was in the service, then? So what? Well, it was a job that had to be done. Who was the actor? I can't remember the actor at the moment, but George Goebbels, and he was on Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson was in the Navy, and Ed McMahon, Ed McMahon was in the Marines. He said, I was in the Air Force. I was in the United States Army Air Force. And he said, they sent me to Oklahoma. And I was a trainer, pilot trainer. And he said, don't laugh. You know, the United States government felt they needed me in Oklahoma. So they sent me to Oklahoma. And I said, I'll tell you one thing. Not a single Japanese Zero got past Oklahoma City. And we didn't even have guns on our aircraft. Yeah. Well, it was a training aircraft. You know, the Japanese didn't get past. They didn't even get in, to our East Coast, West Coast. You know, but he said, I said, well, how are you feeling about being out here? And he goes, well, it's like the world's a tuxedo and you wear brown shoes. You know. What? Yeah. And how do you think they got all the pictures of Pearl Harbor? Yeah, Japanese in the key. The key. They filmed it and sent it home. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Japanese spies in the United States. Yeah, what happened? I mean, you know, people did take advantage when they lost their farms and stuff. But what happened? It happened to anybody. I mean, it happened to the Jews in Germany. You know. Yeah, we hear about the Holocaust all the time, but how many times do you hear about Armenia? In 1915, the Turks went and killed 90% of the Armenians, massacred them. That was a larger percentage than the amount of Jews that the Nazis killed. But without Nazis, Mel Brooks never would have had a career because he's always got a Nazi in every one of his films. You know what I mean? And now the big thing is, I don't know if you read it, but I don't know if you read the newspapers out there or whatever. But there weren't any movies worth a damn that came out last year. Well, even people are dropping subscriptions to everything else. I watched this thing by Martin Scorsese, something of the Blood Moon. I mean, it was awful. 3 hours long. Well, the thing is eventually there's so many out there that are making movies, or so, they call them movies. They're trying to, and yeah, there's just not enough writing, and writing is terrible, and so yeah, I just read about a script doctor. I can't remember the movie, but he was called in for it, and he got paid $850,000 to fix the script, and I mean it's just the way they throw money around. Well, the accounting in Hollywood's not much different than the accounting in D.C. The government accounting, and they're way overpaid for nothing. But they have what? Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of these like Paramount Plus and Paramount are having trouble. Because they spend a lot of money on nothing, and and of course, you're telling me, some a member of your family works at Paramount. Great time to buy a house, especially when Paramount's having trouble. I mean, it doesn't make sense. And they're going to be starting cutting back. And what I've noticed as I keep looking around is all the movies in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s have been bought, and that's what they're showing. Not a lot of new content. The new content is crap. Yeah, they remade Beverly Hillbillies. How stupid can you be? Yeah, but it would have been. I'll tell you what would be wonderful. Would have been wonderful if your father was still around and we had a chance to talk to him about what does he think about the movies nowadays. What would he be buying? Which one would he be putting in his theaters? But then again, he might have some in. Yeah, he might be out of that business because your father owned a lot of real estate. Those theaters were a lot of real estate. Well, regardless of who got it, your father had it. When I first met him, he said, sitting in the kitchen together. He goes, you know what I do for a living? I said, well, did I shop? I keep the economy going. I don't work. Oh, I know. Well, he said, I'm rich, and I'm doing my duty. Keep the money in circulation. Yeah. Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I understand. I had. I think your father was great. I thought he was a great man. We got along great. I mean, your mother was like The Graduate. It's like going to that house, like going to the movie The Graduate. Ooh. I wouldn't call when I was there. I was shivering more because I was frightened. There wasn't anybody around but her. But she wanted me out on that sunboard. And very skimpy clothing. And I was like, ooh, Mrs. Robinson, I'm I think I'll go into the bedroom up the kitchen. Breed. She wanted me out in the sunroom the whole time. I don't know if she expected anything to happen. How would I explain it to Diane Root? She was what? Oh, really? Oh, after the divorce? Oh, after your dad passed away? Yeah. Yeah. Well, she was still in love with him. Yeah. Well, he was a handsome man. Well, he had like that silver hair. But, yeah, it was neat. I liked it. And then, what was it? Forsyth, the actor, John Forsyth. He had like silver hair. Yeah. I don't know how people get that, you know? Do what? No, your father was real. Yeah. I mean, that was a long time ago, man. We weren't doing that back then. They do it now, you know. I mean, you know, like this one woman, she emailed me, you know, broke, she needs money, you know, she has so many bills, and, you know, she's having some teeth pulled and going to have implants put in. I said, what, are you kidding me? You're 73 years old. You don't date. You're not interested in sex. So why are you putting implants in? You know, it's a waste of money. I mean, oh, she never responded to that. I said, I'm not an Adonis anymore. I wouldn't put in. You know, I said, you know, get a bridge. You know, a bridge is cheaper. You know what I mean? She said, well, I needed to put it in to chew on stuff. I said, well, if you have to get a bridge, cheaper. Put the bridge in when you got to chew on stuff and take it out when you don't. I mean, my father had a bridge from first year in college. He was playing, you know, he played football. Back before they had that face mask and the helmets were made out of leather, you know? Yeah. He got kicked in the jaw, side, and knocked out the teeth. But he had a bridge. Wife. Yeah. 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 How much for the cabinet? Yeah, what, $2,000? Really? That's insane. Yeah. Yeah. Dennis actually make what? Yeah, that's all they want you to do. Dentists make more money than doctors. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was working an article last week. I did a dentist that came up with he wanted to do 8 cavities, uh, 7 root canal, uh, 7 crown, and can't remember what else. All in one day. Anyway, the whole dental, whole dental institution, arms, stuff. It was 67,000, and she didn't need any of it. She didn't need any of it. Everyone's ripping everyone off, and I don't get it. Well, there's nothing wrong with making a profit, but when you're just working to steal money, what's the difference between you and someone who goes and robs a bank? Nothing. Here goes Brooks. Biden keeps talking about how poor he was. He leaves the vice president's house when Obama's term was up, and he goes and puts $3 million down on his house in Rehoboth. Where'd you get that? He didn't have it. Well, the thing is, he's in a business with his son. His son and his brother made fortunes. You know, the big guy. Yeah, I got this thing running. I got transport fever running, and I made that $425 million. Well, I started this one earlier. This is yours. But when I started this one, I was down at 202 million because I had just upgraded all my trains and all my trucks, buses. Yeah, I was wondering how you were doing and how everything was going out there in the valley, deep in the. Yeah, yeah. I was reading about um, Charlie Sheen. Yeah, and he's damn near broke. Yeah, well, he spent it on drugs and everything. Now he's got AIDS. He's got HIV, and he put up a bunch of houses. You know, when you talk about going broke, uh, Johnny Depp in one day lost $600 million. But no, that wasn't his fault. It was his management, but but he's got 200 million now. I mean, he's not gonna. He's living in England because he can be left. He's left alone. He didn't have paparazzi around him. Living in the United States, got to be calling. And I just and too many of them take too many roles. Um, like Marlon Brando in the movie with Johnny Depp. He said, Johnny, how many movies are you making? Well, about three a year. Yeah. And he goes, too many, too many, too many. You only have so many faces in your pocket. And it's true. You know, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck haven't made anything since Good Will Hunting. That was any good. Can you can you hold on 1 second here? Yeah, I'm just Christmas. New Year's, January 1st, 1970. There you go, folks. We made some money. Enjoy, and I'll see you again. Yeah, I gotta say, yeah, I gotta